Class, today we are going to discuss chapter 4. Topic is poverty from your book Indian Economic Development. So first of all, question is what is poverty? So poverty is the inability to fill the minimum requirement of life like food, clothing, house, education, health and facility. Yani a person is called poor are that a situation called poverty when a person is not able to fulfill basic requirement. You are not able to purchase food, you are not able to arrange your housing, you are not able to arrange cloth, education, all these facility. So that person is considered as a poor. Now there are two terms, relative poverty and absolute poverty, but these two terms explain two different condition. Relative poverty means poorness in compared to each other. Okay, so in this way all of us are relatively poor. If a person is getting 50,000 and B person is getting 70,000, so we can see कि A person is poor in compared to B. So relative poverty refers to poverty of people in compared to other people in different region and nation. Now absolute poverty is what? It refers to total number of people living the below poverty line. Yani actual poor who are not able to purchase goods that is required for survival. That the total number of people is known as absolute poverty. Okay, now absolute poverty is measured on the two criteria. If you talk about the India, so there are two criteria. First is minimum calorie consumption criteria and second is minimum consumption expenditure criteria. So calorie criteria explain that ki if who are not getting 2400 calorie per person per day in rural area and 2100 calorie in urban area, they are considered living below the poverty line. Okay, now if I talk about the minimum consumption expenditure criteria, so according to that, monthly per capita expenditure is 972 in rural area and 1407 in urban area. Okay, so it's mean uh, rupees 32 in rural area and rupees 42 in urban area on a per capita daily basis. If you are having this much or you are getting less than that, so if you are getting less than that, so you are poor. Now okay, poverty line, what is this? It refers to line which express per capita average monthly expenditure that is essentially required by the people to satisfy their minimum needs. As per Tendulkar Committee, poverty line is estimated monthly basis 816 in rural and 1000 in urban. People who are not able to earn this much, they are considered as a poor. Okay, so according to the survey, approx 22% population in India is below the poverty line. Yani ki you can understand more than 30, approximately more than 32 crore people, yani nearby the population of America, are living below the poverty line. Now estimation of poverty line, so already I had told you कि calorie intake in rural area 2400 calorie and in urban area 2100 calorie. Okay, in 1999 to 2000 new way of measuring started. यानी कि calorie, if person is taking the calorie this much or not, we are not able to find out it. But if a person is expending this much money, it's mean he is taking. So that is why consumption criteria has been selected. So Tendulkar Committee, according to that, in rural area, if a person is expending less than 816 and in urban area less than 1000, so that people are considered as a poor. Now categorization of poor in India. So type of poor: chronic, transit and never poor. What is chronic? Those who are always poor are usually poor. Okay, transit poor means who are moving in and out poverty like daily wage earner. Sometimes they get more than that, sometimes they get less than that, and sometimes they are not able to uh, get the work. So in this way they regularly in and out. Okay, neighbor poor, so non poor yani who are earning 1816 or more than that, they are neighbor poor. Now facts related to poverty in India. So first of all, it is recommended that poverty should be defined in terms of per capita calorie consumption, as it defines the actual use and type of goods consumed. Also, comprehensive data is not available on the distribution of income. So that is the reason we had considered calorie consumption. Now, calorie consumption in rural area, so 2435 calorie per day, which is more than calorie consumption in urban area. Urban area it is 2045. So this is primarily because type and nature of the work done in rural area. So calorie intake is higher in urban area in rural area in compared to urban area, because in rural area most of the worker do physical work, and in urban area most of the people do official and other job. So that is why calorie intake needed more in a rural area. Now urban poverty arise as a overflow or spill of rural poverty, because people from rural area migrated to urban area in search of better job. So if we go through the data, so what we find that ki urban poverty is increasing. Why increasing? Because poor people from the rural area migrating to urban area in search of job, but they are not having any skilled knowledge, they are not having higher education, so they are not able to get the job in urban area. So in this way they become daily wage earner, vendor, and in this way here again they become the part of below the poverty line. So people in urban area are either unemployed or intermittently employed as casual labor. Thus, poverty depends on nature of employment. The official data of poverty is made available to the public by Planning Commission, but it is estimated by NSSO and the National Sample Survey Organization. So remember, this point is very very important. Okay, available, published by Planning Commission, yani today Niti Aayog, and it is collected by NSSO. Now, three approaches of government to combat poverty. So enhancing economic growth, a specific program for poverty elimination, and fulfilling minimum needs of the poor. So these are the three approach. With the help of that, government try to eradicate poverty. So enhancing the economic growth means कि if there is increase in GDP, there is increase in per capita income, so increase in purchasing power, people are going to purchase more goods and services, so the level of living is going to be high. Okay, a specific program for poverty elimination, so providing job opportunity, it is related to that, and fulfilling minimum needs, like immediately you can't do anything, to at least PDS, public distribution system, is very helpful. Free education for their child, free health facility. Okay, so in this way whatever they are earning, they are going to expend it, making their life more better. Now, vicious circle of poverty, what is this? It refers to a situation of self reinforcement forces in which there are certain factors that are related in a circulation way and result in continuous of poverty and underemployment. So what is vicious circle? If there will be less GDP, so there will be less per capita income, so less purchasing, yani less aggregate demand, less production, less employment. So this is known as a vicious circle. Okay, causes of poverty. So what are the reason because of that we are facing severe problem of poverty? So rapid increase in population, this is the biggest problem. We are the second most populated country in the world, and our population growth rate is too high, and no government has done lot of things for controlling the population. Okay, next है low level of national product. Our GDP, increase in gross domestic product, is not as high as we require. Okay, so our population is day by day increasing. In that proportion, we are not able to increase the industrialization, we are not able to increase all the three sector. Rise in price, because population is increasing, so demand for all goods and services is increasing, but we are not able to produce all goods and services according to demand. So result is price, high price, that is known as a inflation. Unemployment, because there is continuous increase in populations, there is continuous increase in labor force, but we are not able to make the job opportunity according to increase in labor force. So there are many people who are unemployed. Low rate of growth, so already when there is less GDP, so obviously growth rate is not going to be desirable. Capital deficiency, so capital means investment. All of you know investment is what? Increase in fixed assets and inventory stock. So if we talk about the India, our consumption level is too high, saving is too low, so result is less capital accumulation. Rural indebtedness, in rural area the basic reason for poverty is debt trap. For the agriculture, for non-farming activity, for religious function, there is any accident, so they always borrow money, and to pay it they again borrow money. In this way they caught into debt trap, and this is the basic reason for the poverty in rural area. Exploitation under British rule, so already I had told you कि before the arrival of Britishers, India was self-reliant and prosperous country. It is known as a golden bird. It is known as a sink of gold and silver. Okay, but during these 200 years, Britishers exploited in this manner कि we become stagnated and backward in every field. So this is one more and basic reason for having this poverty. Now, inflationary pressure. Already I had told you that population is increasing, demand is increasing, but in the same ratio we are not able to increase the supply of goods and services. So result is what? Result is inflation, increase in the price of regular goods. High level of migration from rural to rural area. Okay, because rural area there is no industrialization, no focus on SSI, not focus on diversification of production activity. So because of that people are migrating to urban area. Okay, and in this way the workforce and the pressure of workforce is on urban area. Okay, now failure to implement land reform. Okay, already in the second chapter I had told you about consolidation of land holding, about the abolition of zamindari system, about land sealing, but because of many loopholes and because of less dedication, these plans are not implemented properly, and result is that still there are a lot of farmers who are not having any cultivation area, and there are a lot of number of migrated marginal and small farmer, and because of that they are facing the problem of poorness. Now this is the three things that that is given in your NCERT book, but you can write more about to eradicate poverty, to reduce poverty. So through the GDP, through the fiscal and legislation measure, by controlling the population, by enhancing the quality of life, and poverty elimination program. So first of all, how we can curb poverty by high GDP. So when there is increase in GDP, our economic growth, so there will be, when there will be more production, so there will be more demand of labor. Okay, and growth become inclusive when there is increase in GDP with increase in employment opportunity. So this is known as a growth with job, and that is known as a inclusive growth. Okay, now If there is growth without job opportunity, so we say this is known as a jobless growth. Okay, and this increase in production of goods and services is done on the basis of machinery. Okay, so if you want to curb the poverty, so you have to rely on labor intensive technique rather than capital intensive technique. So you have to adopt labor intensive technique. Why? Because India is most populated country in the world. If you are doing the production with the help of machinery, so there will be less job opportunity. Less job opportunity yani ki less income, and there will be problem of poverty. If you want to eradicate the problem of poverty, you have to use labor intensive technique. Okay, now eradicate poverty through the fiscal and legislative measure. So fiscal is related to expenditure, government expenditure and government revenue. So if I talk about the government revenue, so government get its revenue by tax and non-tax. So what can government do? So im- implement taxation and expenditure of the government. This is the meaning of fiscal measure. Okay, now government can use progressive tax yani no tax for the poor section and high tax for the richer section. The amount of tax is then used to offer subsidy to the poor section of the society. So whatever earning is done by the taxation on the rich section, that should be expended on the poor section. So there will be reallocation of resources, and there will be decrease in biasness in income. This enhance the standard of living of the poor and reduce income imbalance. So there will be increase in equality. Now legislation measure, so deals with minimum wage act and price system support. Under minimum wage has been decided by the government purpose to ensure that the employment are exploited, not exploited by the employers. Minimum support price, so that farmer are able to do the farming, they get incentive for the farming. Okay, and whatever surplus is generated, that is purchased by the government and redistributed among the farmers with the help of the public distribution system. Now eradicate poverty through population control. So if there will be population control, so what will be the its benefit? It is going to enhance per capita income of the people. So for that, government should focus on family planning. Okay, and when there will be less population, there will be less labor force, and there will be less balance in labor market. Okay, and this is going to help you to decrease the poverty. Now eradicate poverty by improving the quality of life. So development of agriculture, because 70% people are still living in poor rural area and they depend upon rural and agriculture activity. So modernize it, provide irrigation facility and fertilizers, give land and financial assessment, stabilizing general price level. So price of food, grain and consumer goods should be stabilized. Okay, and for the poor people, they are provided a control rate price, goods provided at a controlled rate price. Eradication of unemployment, to explore the area of employment outside agriculture and rural area. Vocationalization of education, yani education should be like that ki they are skilled in particular area. Development of cottage industry and constructive activity like animal husbandry, fishery, horticulture. Okay, so they are going to be trained in these things. Focus should be on the use of labor intensive technology and self employment opportunity. It is also promoted by giving loan at very low rate, and industry must be set up in rural area, backward area also. Now poverty elimination program, So Swर्ण Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana launched in 1990 and it is related to rural area. Okay, now under this, a small enterprise was set up in rural area. In 2011-12, it was reconstructed National Rural Livelihood Mission. It is new name. Now National Rural Livelihood, so Ajivika Yojana, and it first of all it is related to 150 district. Now it aims to provide employment to 90 lakh people. Okay, next Sampurn Grameen Rozgar Yojana launched in 2001, providing employment to surplus labor. Okay, and providing infrastructure or merged with Narega. Food for Work program launched in 2004 for the rural development. The program was meant for those who are willing to do manual, unskilled labor work. Food grain were provided to state free of cost. Now, Pradhan Mantri Gramoday Yojana launched in 2001. It is related to uplift of standard of living of poor people belonging to rural area. Okay, providing developing 5 area: health, primary education, drinking water, housing and road. It incorporated 3 projects. Now, Jai Prakash Rozgar Guarantee Yojana. It aims to provide employment guarantee the most backward region of the country. Swर्ण Jayanti Shastri Rozgar Yojana launched in 1997 and it is related to urban area, the people who are employed and unemployment. Okay, Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana for educated unemployment, and it provide loan up to 1 lakh for opening new enterprise to 2 lakh for other activity. Development of small and scale cottage industry. Then minimum needs program providing 5 basic things to poor people. 20-point program, it is related to launched in 1982. It is for eradicate poverty. It include irrigation capacity, production of pulses, oilseed, minimum wage to agricultural labor, etc. Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, Manrega that is known, who are able and willing to work give 100 days work guarantee. Jan Dhan Yojana, it is launched in 2014. This promote the habit of saving and intend to transfer all the benefit of the government scheme directly to account holder. Okay, now positive effect. So there has been a substantial decline in the percentage of population from 55% to 21.9%. There has been increase in the minimum wage. Now negative side, the administration and concerned staff were inefficient. Favor was done to rich, educated as against the poor. Remote area and rural district were ignored. Definition of poor are not clear. Power group in rural areas started exercising control over delivering mechanism of the system. Okay, so thank you class.